Microsoft Teams is helping a bicycle company reinvent the way that they work.
We make low-maintenance bicycles
for everyday riders.
Once the pandemic hit, we had nobody coming into the showroom, so we started doing virtual visits via Microsoft Teams.
We're able to see 2 or 3-fold the amount of customers we used to be able to see. All of a sudden, we could open up our showroom to customers around the world. I really think it's going to set a standard for retail moving forward.
Learn more at Microsoft.com/Teams. Support for this podcast comes from State Farm, the good neighbors who offer you surprisingly great rates on your home and car insurance. State Farm agents are great at helping you personalize your insurance to match your needs, plus an award-winning app that makes the whole insurance process surprisingly great. So if you're looking for a surprisingly great rate that comes with a lot of other surprisingly great things, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Scarpins Avenue.
Dan and Ran and Jay will share tales of folks so unaware they lack in grace and sometimes choose the life they choose will make the news. Breaking down each epic fail in Florida, there's half-price bail. I'm happy to say they couldn't make this up. So listen to our podcast jam with co-host Arm and Dan. Bender, don't be a jerk, cause when the music hits, the funny hits, and we are gonna take you down. Stick around. Make a sound, hunker down, it's Dumb People Town.
Hey, Townies, welcome to a Friday episode of Dumb People Town. Population you.
Population done.
Dan Dunn, we done did it. How are you, buddy?
What's going on, fellas?
Oh, my God. I feel like of all the people in this world, you are so uniquely designed and engineered for this specific podcast where we look at stupid behavior because a lot of it starts with a bottle of something. Am
Get
I right?
Out of here.
No, we're not asking you to blaspheme the very thing that is your power source, but we are saying that some people, when they drink irresponsibly, they do dumb things.
I know. How do you walk the tightrope of doing the right thing and knowing when enough is enough? That's my question to you, because I like drinking occasionally, and I do like.
I like it a lot.
There's certain times when I really like drinking, but I don't know if I have the power to know that, like, okay, this is over the line or not. Like, I don't trust myself.
Well, I would say this: if you know that you're crossing the line, then you clearly haven't had enough to drink.
Oh, okay.
Right? Isn't that kind of how
right.
it? Yeah.
That's like saying I'm crazy. You're not crazy if you're saying you're crazy. Okay.
Yeah, like Randy, you've never found yourself throwing wrenches at somebody at a children's playground,
right?
Like, so you aren't.
That would be me not. But I'd be thinking to myself, I'm in the right. I'm throwing wrenches at people, and they're the assholes.
Right.
You know, and the age has something to do with it too, because when we're in our 20s and we're drinking, what's considered dumb or asshole-ish behavior is a lot different than when you're in your 40s, for instance.
Yeah.
So, not that I've learned from that. I keep repeating the same behaviors over and over again, but I just feel worse about them now. When I was younger, it was like, who cares?
Well, so we like to, I wonder, let me ask you this. Do you think the world has gotten dumber in recent times? Are we
more brazen with our stupidity?
Are we cascading off a cliff of dumb into a dumb oblivion? What's happening now?
Oh, my. Yeah. I mean, look at the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, if there's any bright spot for the pandemic, and I'm glad we're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. That light is a bar for me. And but if there's any good thing that came about because of it, is the shame was drained from my body of just being able to drink every day, because it was okay to do it, and I needed to after not to get political, but after 4 years of what we went through, it was kind of refreshing to be drunk for the final year of it and be okay and be alone in my house. And
But can I but don't you miss I miss a good bar. I mean, having lived in New York City for 5 years, I miss that really good, especially when
a room full of strangers and a couple people you like.
Yeah. It's that beautiful warmth, right?
Yep.
So I live in Venice Beach, and so we've got the outdoor dining going on. And a few weeks ago, when they resumed outdoor dining, we went to this place called Nueva, which has a really cool outdoor space. Okay, but how they do it, and you guys know, is you got to stay in your little bubble at your table. And so I was with a couple of my guy friends, and there was a table of 3 women next to us, just right next to us. And at some point in the evening, we just got bold and brazen, and we turned our chairs toward each other. I didn't move over to their table, but we were looking at each other, we were engaging, and we were speaking, and all I kept thinking to myself is, holy fuck, I can curse, right? I was like, Jesus Christ, do I miss this? Like, and I wasn't even sidled up next to them at the bar, just having a conversation. They were a few feet away, but we were still engaging with people we didn't know, and it felt so foreign, and yet it was. I'm kind of welling up thinking about it. Like, that's how great it was.
There are moments where. I think about Bar Bandini, which is over by me, and then out by you, the other room. Was it the other room? The other room?
On Abbot Kinney. The room on Abbot Kinney, yeah.
I love that place because it's born out of 2 bars in New York, and it's just, there's something about the place that is warm and inviting, although it can be the beginning of a dumb story. And so we get dumb stories sent to us by our fans.
We do.
And we like to break them down. So if you'll let us indulge you, let us break down a story, all of us together. Does that sound like a good idea?
Let's do it.
I welcome the dumb.
All right, let's bring it.
We always do.
Okay.
This was sent in, as Randy said, by our fans. All of them are. Guys, I love when you guys send me these stories. You can do so by going to @DanielVanKirk on Twitter and then just hashtagging Dumb People Town in your tweet. This was sent in by Liz Haggerty, @Liz Haggerty. She's been around for a long time.
I want to call her Gentleman Liz Haggerty.
She is a dumb reporter for us.
She really is. She's like a stringer for us.
She's embedded in the dumb.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
Angered that her roommate was playing the chic classic Le Freak over and over again, very loudly.
I love that that's still a thing, guys. It's still a thing. Freak out.
A Florida woman allegedly battered the disco devotee during a 12:15 a.m. confrontation in the duo's apartment. So we're just after midnight. One person wants to keep hearing Le Freak over and over again, and the other person said, no.
I got to put an end to this.
The devil, you know?
Right. First of all,
not a Nile Rodgers fan. And by the way, he got in the Hall of Fame for that, in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Really?
He's in the yes,
Warren
absolutely.
Zevon, not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Rodgers.
Peter Frampton, not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay, can I drop something for you here, Daniel? And I'll just drop a little name. So I used to live in Colorado, in Aspen, and I worked for Hunter S. Thompson, the writer.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Talk about.
And Hunter was very good friends with Warren Zevon.
Yeah.
And I do not purport to know Warren well, but I met him several times through Hunter. And I could tell you, from what I know of him, he would not at all be disappointed that he's not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It just doesn't
100%.
seem like a thing that he would endorse or care about.
Right. Sure. He'd rather be kept in your heart for a while, not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
He probably would rather people be angry that he's not in the Hall of Fame.
That's right. He's happy to be an outsider.
Bitching about him.
But, so here's my question, though. If you are about to start some shit with your roommate, you have to live with that person.
Right.
Like, you know what you're getting into. This isn't fighting at a bar.
This is like when somebody fights with you over a parking spot.
Yep.
I've said this to people before. When they've
both
like been
going
a
in the
real
same
dick,
place?
what a real dick about it, I go, okay, fine. Just know, I know where your car's parked.
Right.
So however you want to treat me, whatever you want to say or do, I'm just telling you, I'm going to leave here. You don't know where I'm going. But I know where your car is parked.
That's right. Yeah.
These people know where their bedrooms are.
Right.
I know where your
First off, it sounds like there must have been, if you're playing Freak Out over and over at 12:15, I'm going to guess there might have been other substances involved here that are making you do that. And secondly, what I would have done if I were the roommate that she came out, got in my face about it, I said, I'm sorry, you're right. It's bad. Turn it off. When she goes back in the room, I would put on Leo Sayers' You Make Me Feel Like Dancing, which I think we can all agree is the inferior song in that era, and just play that even louder.
I mean,
like, all right,
that dude, by the way, Leo Sayer was about 4'11". With the fro, maybe 5'6",
and he was wearing like what could only be described as a leotard. In the commercial.
Got a new way of talking.
That was his real voice.
I know it was.
I'm gonna look
so
up.
So he had. By the way, when I went down a deep Leo Sayer,
how deep is it?
He had like.
I was going to say, how deep's that hole?
By the way, Jay, go through Leo Sayer's hits. He had about 7 to 10.
Wait, Daniel, can you name another? I can't. Can you name another Leo Sayers?
There is one other. I just heard it recently on on 70s on 7, and I
He
was
had
like,
a-
I do know this
No,
song.
Jay,
And I was
he had a bunch
surprised.
of
He
this
had
was
more
there.
than I can say.
More than I can say.
Yes.
How does that go?
Yeah.
How's that
When
go?
I need you.
I just
So when I need you, that's a different song. And then he had You Make Me Feel Like Dancing. He had Long Tall Glasses.
Don't know it.
Don't know that one.
One man band.
Should have gotten out at When I
Orchard
Need You.
Road. I Can't Stop Loving You. How Much Love. Raining in My Heart.
No, I don't know.
Moonlighting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he recorded a lot of songs, but a
Easy
rabbit
to
hole.
Love, Giving It All Away. Heart.
There's a theme to Leo Sayre's
Yeah,
groove,
yeah,
if you will. You're not going to see like "fuck the police" in the middle of
No,
that,
no, no,
right?
no,
It's
no,
like I
no.
love you.
I would
You're this.
love-
You're in my
His
heart.
theme is
Yeah.
like, is it okay if we hold hands?
Dancing the Night Away. Was
Yes.
that? How does that go?
I don't know. We'll figure it
don't
out.
know.
Anyway, the point is that like that is a great call because then can they get mad at something that's that soft? You know,
Right.
compared-
But I love that you're like,
took
if
a
you're going to
step
start shit with your roommate, if you're playing that song over and over, you're the one starting shit.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Oh yeah, you know what you're doing. It's
According-
not like- by the way, if you listen to anything over and over and over, and I don't care if it's the best thing in the world, over and over and over again, people are going to get mad.
According to an arrest affidavit, Mary Ann Lannon. Oh, look at Leo. Mary
He's
Ann
like
Lannon.
a kid that was. He looks like a kid that's been shot out of a T-shirt cannon.
Yes.
He's like the precursor to what was the exercise guy, Richard?
Richard Simmons.
Yeah.
Doesn't he
of
kind of have a
course.
Richard Simmons
He
vibe
does
going
have a
on
little
there?
Richard
He looks
Simmons
like a
vibe.
smaller, more
right,
effeminate.
He's
Richard
Richard
Simmons.
Slimmons.
There you go.
Yes, yes.
According to an arrest affidavit, Mary Ann Lannon, quote, became upset after the victim, who's Lannon's cousin. So not only are they roommates,
Here he is
Today.
Here he is today.
Ooh.
He has
Still
not
looking
aged
good.
well.
he looks like
Still rocking
looked
the
like his
fro.
new name is Felton John.
Or he looks like your Aunt Barb.
Yeah,
Hey,
he
your
does.
Aunt Barb is coming over
She's
here
got
tonight.
a great condo in Florida, though.
She's really listening to a lot of NPR, and just let her talk.
I mean, there's definitely a point where he's like, "There's not enough paint splotches on this
I
jacket."
know. So the victim is Lannon's cousin. Mary Ann Lannon became upset.
So
in
they're
quotes.
cousins sharing a place.
Yes.
So not only do you have to share, but you might see this person at a family reunion.
Right. After Lannon's cousin put the 1978 song on repeat. Investigators allege that Lannon freaked out. Okay, we don't need to write jokes. We don't need to write jokes into our article.
Okay.
That Lannon freaked out and pushed her kin into Dan, you could not have been a more perfect person to have on this episode of the show.
What
because
did-
when I read what she got pushed into, not only is it so great in a vacuum to just have this fact in the story, the fact that you're here with us and your podcast, What We're Drinking, investigators say she became upset and she pushed her kin into a, quote, makeshift tiki bar in their apartment.
Yep.
Now, I love the game. I applaud the game.
Yeah, if you're making a makeshift tiki bar.
But Makeshift Tiki Bar might be my favorite ska band
Makeshift-
ever.
Makeshift
I want to hang out with these people. First of all, like, they got the
Makeshift tiki bar.
They didn't want to go all the way with the
Right.
tiki bar.
Right.
You know, I don't want to think people to think I'm, living an ostentatious life here.
Right.
We'll just go with a makeshift.
Makeshift.
tiki bar.
No, that
We
was
won't-
another
yeah,
fight that led to this fight.
That was the other fight. It's
About
like,
whether or not
can
they
I
were going to have a
please-
tiki
Can
bar.
I shellac
Right.
the tiki
No,
bar? No,
you
you
cannot.
can't. You can't. It's going to stink up
I
the
will.
place.
I will
Okay,
accept
okay,
it if
fine.
it is not permanent.
Do you
I'm
guys
gonna
know
play
which
freak
band?
out.
Do you know which band comes on before Goldfinger and Mustard Plug? Yeah, Makeshift Tiki Bar.
There you go.
Tiki bar's coming on tonight. I love those guys.
That she pushed her into the Makeshift Tiki Bar, causing the bar to fall apart. Tiki is always
Again,
kind of rickety anyway.
Tiki
By the way,
is not
that
put
was
together well.
that was an hour's worth of work that she just
That
destroyed
tiki
in
bar
a
together.
matter of minutes.
The bar fell apart, and the victim, causing the victim to strike her left eye on a speaker.
Oh God.
Lannon's cousin, cops noted, suffered severe swelling and a bruised left eye, so a black eye.
Yeah.
Lannon, who was arrested at the Tampa Bay area apartment she shares with her cousin, was charged with domestic battery, a misdemeanor, seen above, which we will do later. Lannon was released Tuesday afternoon from the court. A judge ordered Lannon to have no contact with the victim,
How are you going to do that? You live with the
They
person.
live together.
whom she has lived with for how long?
Okay.
How long? Before we take a quick little break, we'll come back, find more about What We're Drinking podcast, and talk to Dan. I'm going to ask you guys, get in your guesses before we go to the break. How long do you think
these two have been
Mary
living
Ann
together?
Lannon and her cousin, with a makeshift tiki bar and a love of disco music like Le Freak, how long had they been living together? Dan, you are our guest. What is your guess?
Did it say how old they are?
We will do that.
Okay.
at the end.
So they could be 60.
Yeah, it's right.
I'm going to say they don't sound like the most successful people.
Right.
I'm just maybe
Excellent.
I'm making a judgment.
The word makeshift. It wasn't a contract.
Makeshift
Tiki,
and roommate.
Yeah,
and adult
we're not
roommates.
talking surgeons. They're probably not.
No.
Okay,
Right.
they don't work at the same ward in the hospital. I'm going to think they've been living in this codependent situation for 6 years.
Okay,
6 years.
6 years.
Jay, what do you think?
It's 10 years.
10 years.
I'm going
Randy?
to say 24 years.
24
I
years.
think they've been living together for a long
All
time.
right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back after this.
Stick around, make a sound. There's more Dumb People Town.
All right, guys, nuts.com. I love them so much. The best kept secret for savvy snackers across the country. I love nuts.com. Jay, I've eaten all the stuff and I've just torn through it over here. I'm so happy that they're a Dumb People Town sponsor, aren't you?
Oh, of course. Nuts.com is a family-run business that takes pride in getting you the freshest products possible.
When they say the freshest products, the dried mango is
The
so
mango
good.
is the best.
I bought my mother-in-law a bunch of the dried mango because she's obsessed with
You know
dried
what he
mango. I'm
said?
like, this is going to be the best dried mango you've ever had. And she said, yes, it is.
I love those cashews.
The owner of the company looked at a box of mangoes one time and said, these aren't good enough. Send them to Whole Foods. Send them to Whole Foods. Unbelievable. They
love
have
this.
delicious, healthy, kid-friendly snacks. My kids are eating healthy because of them.
The dried strawberries were their favorites. They love
Custom
those.
trail mix. It's just fantastic.
But nuts.com is not just for snack lovers. It's also your one-stop shop, online pantry shop.
I love it.
You can find baking items for smoothies, rolled oats, which are amazing, beans, and more with gluten-free and vegan options too.
That's right. With more than 4,000 products to choose from, this is the simple and convenient way to have nutritious, delicious, healthy
Delicious, nutritious.
nuts, dried fruit, flours, grains, and so many other high-quality foods delivered straight to your door.
Delivery is fast. Most orders ship the same day. These guys are so good. And
I
in
love
fact,
them.
I love
Yep.
them. It's a family business. Let's support them, please.
And guess what? Nuts.com customers get free shipping on your first order when you text DPT to 64,000.
And remember, you support our show when you support our sponsors. So text DPT to 64,000 and get free shipping on your first order from nuts.com.
That's DPT to 64,000. Terms apply. Available at nuts.com/terms. You want those mangoes? Get them now. So we all think about like gifts that we want to get for someone. I'm going to tell you right now, Uncommon Goods is honestly, Uncommon Goods is the best. You got to check it out. It's an online shop filled with unique and totally unexpected gifts.
And when we say unexpected, we truly mean original things you won't find anywhere
Like
else.
really cool puzzles and cheese boards. And
Baseball stadium blueprints.
that's
Very
the
cool.
coolest thing ever. We have,
For a sports fan, that's the neatest thing I've ever seen.
it's incredible.
If you're shopping for someone's birthday, Mother's Day that's coming up, an anniversary, or a wedding, Uncommon Goods is a place to go for thoughtful, original gifts for everyone in your life.
A lot of people are like, I don't know what to get. No,
Right.
Uncommon Goods, it looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade in the U.S., and they don't sell products made with leather, feathers, or fur. So that's important.
And when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. They
That's right.
aggregate them for you. So we're support. Hey, if you support this podcast, you know what it means to support independent artists.
It's a Brooklyn-based company that's all about giving back. With every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $2 million to date.
So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/DPT.
That's uncommongoods.com/DPT for 15% off.
Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, they're all out of the ordinary.
Hey guys, Daniel Van Kirk here, along with the Sklar brothers. Hello. And we're going to talk to you about BetterHelp. So many people are struggling right now, and you aren't feeling like your normal selves. I get it. I'm there with you. Therapy helps.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be sitting around just talking about your feelings.
So what is therapy exactly? It's whatever you want it to be. And you can privately talk to someone if you feel like you're not dealing well with the stress that you're having or relationship issues. We're all carrying the world's stress on our shoulders right now.
Whatever you need, it's time to stop being ashamed of normal human struggles and start feeling better because you deserve to be happy. We really do believe that on this show. And now you don't have to worry about finding an in-person therapist near you for help.
BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to.
It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours.
So join the millions of people who are already seeing what therapy is really about. See if it's for you, because everyone deserves the chance to feel good.
And BetterHelp is giving Dumb People Town listeners a special offer. Get 10% off of your first month.
Just go to betterhelp.com/DPT.
That's betterhelp.com/DPT.
Fresh from San Diego, California comes the only sunglasses brand that I'm ever going to wear again. I am talking about my Blenders eyewear. I just got my Blenders, and they are so cool that I found a style that fits me perfectly. You're just going to get hooked when you see how awesome these shades are. I seriously believe
It's a cool company. Chase Fisher started Blenders by selling his beachy shades out of a backpack while doubling as a surf instructor on Pacific Beach. There you go.
This
and
is
his
a
goal
great
is to
story.
create an adventurous, mid-priced eyewear option with the same cool factor of other leading shades. And he did it.
Yep. Unlike expensive big brand shades that you've probably lost or smashed in the past, Blenders are actually affordable, so you're not going to cry as much when the inevitable happens.
Yeah, Blenders team of in-house designers have they're coming out with new styles, from orange polarized wraparounds, tortoiseshell frames with purple lenses, to classic gold arms on black lenses.
These are really dope shades. Like if you want to go retro and get your 80s on,
So
you
cool.
want to get your 90s on, if
Yeah.
you want to
They're
get
made for the
super
pool
cool.
party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just sunglasses. Blenders has prescription glasses, readers, blue lights, as well as snow collection with goggles. Hey,
Goggles, dude.
Goggles and
Yep.
accessories.
So score 15% off your Blenders purchase. Visit blenderseyewear.com and enter the promo code DPTVIP.
That's blenderseyewear.com, code DPTVIP for 15% off.
Blenders, rocked with pride worldwide.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Before we get to the answer of how long these two crazy freaks have been living together,
With the
We
makeshift
should
tiki bar.
mention, we got the live Dumb People Town's going to be on April 10th, Nowhere Comedy
Honey
Club.
Dumb.
The Honey Dumb, Ryan Sickler, one of our favorite guests of all time, will be there, and the Cactus Blossoms. Get your tickets. And we're going to
We've
do
got
it.
a Greenlee.
We've
We've
got
got
a
a
Greenlee.
Greenlee.
It's the Honey Dumb. It's a mixture of Honeydew and Dumb People Town. It's going to be dumb stories, and it's going to be a fantastic. Eventbrite.com. Get your tickets for that. Go to danielvankirk.com to check out all the cool stuff that he's doing.
And I can tell you guys, I've already put the Greenlee together, and I will tell you this much. Greenlee covers a strip club story.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, for everything fun like bingo and hang out and live pen pals and all that stuff, just good vibes and good times, go to danielvankirk.com.
And Dan Dunn, you've got a fantastic podcast about, look, we talk drinking. It's about drinking, what we're drinking. Tell the good folks about it and where they can check it
And
out.
also tell us what you're drinking right now.
Yeah, you're drinking right now.
I have a Guinness.
Nice.
Because I got ambitious for St. Patty's Day and I bought like a whole case of Guinness.
It's the leftover. It's the
Realizing I'm alone in this world, and so this is kind of my leftover Guinness, and
Nice.
I like a good Guinness.
It's
Yeah,
a
why
good
not, right?
Guinness is
A
fantastic.
meal in a bottle.
It's
It is a good afternoon
Yeah.
beer.
It's like pancakes in a bottle.
The last trip I took, last time I was on an airplane, it was just over a year ago. I went to Ireland.
Did you?
And among the many stops that I did over there was to go to the Guinness brewery. And if anybody's a fan of beer, I highly recommend it.
Really?
It's great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
It's
I'd love to do
fantastic. Ireland's fucking great. Love it. What we're drinking. It's a podcast. It's on the same network as you guys, Starburns.
Yep.
Yes.
And, there's a lot. It's a mixture. We've got a ton of celebrities have been on the show. We've had Matthew McConaughey, Pitbull, Christy Brinkley, Steven
Nice.
Soderbergh.
Awesome.
On and on and on and on. We got Snoop Dogg coming up, Nick Jonas, John Barbados.
That's awesome.
Wow,
So,
great.
Well, the beauty of it is all of these people are involved. Like what brand do you guys have? Like everybody's
Right.
got
Yeah.
Yeah,
a
everybody's
booze
got
brand
a
these
brand,
days.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's been a boon for us. But then we also do a lot of stuff we've got distillers on, and I do stuff about trends, and it's mostly humor. We try to be funny and have a
Yeah,
good
but
time,
there's a whole culture.
There's something to be gleaned and learned through the pod, so you
and
get a little
there are
knowledge.
certain drinking where it's a culture, like there's the Scotch. There are the Scotch drinkers, and the culture that surrounds all of that, and
they're very, very geeky. So, for instance, the current episode features 3 women because it is International It's Women's
It's
Month.
International Women's Month. God
I
bless it.
celebrate it all year round.
know
but,
you
but,
do.
but so there are 3 women that I have on the current episode from Zacapa Rum, which is a beautiful rum from Guatemala. So that would be that would be an example of an episode where we kind of geek out a little bit more.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
talks
yeah.
about and that's fascinating to me.
It is fascinating to anyone.
The aging process and where it comes from, and to hear it from the people that are doing it themselves. And I mean, Lorena Vasquez, who's the master blender for that brand,
so
36 years she's been doing that.
So
Like,
she
you
knows
gotta
what
love your
she's
job.
doing. Yeah, she knows
that's
what she's
so
doing.
cool.
Yeah.
And it's like you get that good at something and you're doing it for that long.
Yes.
It's so many subtleties that the regular person just can't even understand. Like I'm sure she looks at a batch or has like one little taste of it is like, no, that's not the right. Like they're so good with this. They can catch notes of stuff that's in there that like our palates will never understand.
It's really an amazing skill, and in the whiskey world as well. I mean, all of the spirits really, but where you watch, and there is definitely a scientific element to it where they're measuring, but some of the best in the business you're exactly right. They're able to just nose it and say, oh yeah, no, the pH level is off a little bit on this. And you're like, how the hell did you do
You're
that?
like, I am in the presence of greatness right now. It's like watching Michael Phelps swim. Look at Michael Phelps. This
is why celebrities fall. I really truly believe this. I just recently had Bryan Cranston on. He started a mezcal, which is a really good mezcal called Dos Hombres with Aaron Paul.
Nice.
I understand why they fall in love with this side. Steven Soderbergh is Singani 63 is his brand. I think he might be more passionate about that than filmmaking right now, because they get to meet these people. There's no bullshit really in that world. The people that are making this day in and day out are artisans. They're craftsmen, craftswomen. It's International Women's Month. So peeps, craft peeps.
No, it's a great idea. It's so true. And you think about Soderbergh too. We know people who've worked with him, and anybody who's like says that Soderbergh shot anything of theirs, they're like, he's doing things with camera angles and he's like, just run the scene a couple of times. And you think you're just rehearsing it with the person. And meanwhile, he's got like the camera in a pen up under the desk, shooting from an angle that you can't see. And you're like, oh my God, he just got the most natural performance in a way that... And so I'm sure he sort of geeks out on the exact same thing, the way people treat. The details of it all.
Well, the thing he makes, Singani, is the national spirit of Bolivia, which has been around for 500 years. But up until a few years ago, no one outside of Bolivia had ever tried it. When he made the movie Che, he tried it, fell in love with it. And this is 10 years ago, and then made it his mission to bring this to the States. And he's just about to get the TTB, which regulates alcohol in the United States, to declare Singani. Right now it's categorized as brandy, but he's going to get it declared its own category. And I mean, it's a lot of fucking work to do that. And to see guys like him, and I think Cranston's really into it, then you get people that just slap their name, like Justin Timberlake slaps his name on it. Diddy does, but you know what? It still moves a lot of product. Diddy does.
I always loved the Casamigos story with Clooney, where him and that guy bought that farm and then they would just give Casamigos as gifts, like at Christmas. And obviously at that level, you're giving out like 300 gifts a year.
Sure.
And then people told them, like, you have to sell this, you should make it. So they went through that process, like, all right, we'll distribute it, and then all the way up to them selling it for $1 billion.
It's a great tequila. It was Gerber and another guy. There are three of them.
Yeah.
They invested, all told, of their own money, $250,000, and 4 years later sold it for $1 billion.
And it's a great. Feel free to educate me.
Good for Clooney.
Good for a guy who just hasn't
break.
succeeded.
Finally got a break, and it's just nice to see something go well.
Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know a lot, but I really like that tequila, that Casamigos Blanco. Well, I really enjoy that tequila.
I do too, and
you sound mad about it.
No, I do. Here's the thing. I want to, and I do like the Ochos and Clase Azules and some of the smaller brands that come up. I'm really sort of gravitating a lot more now towards Mezcal, just because, and that's going to get over. It is getting over. I'm talking about Bryan Cranston right now.
Yeah.
But Mezcal still has that thing where, I don't know if you guys, it's always like, once it gets co-opted by, the masses, then I'm like, oh, what's the next cool thing? And Mezcal still has that. There's still a lot of little local mezcals that you can find. Yeah. Not so much in tequila anymore. But that said, the quality of tequila overall as a category has gone up, and Casamigos is a great example of that.
Yeah. And Clooney, a guy who this can help him with the ladies.
I know,
to show
it's
that
just
he's
such a
got-
positive thing.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to
Are
the
you
story,
ready?
shall we? Because we guessed the age.
Yeah, Judge ordered Lannon. That's Mary Ann
Yep.
Lannon. Mary Ann Lannon. It's such a Midwest
Mary Ann
name.
Lannon's
for Florida.
here.
Great Midwest
to have no contact with the victim, who she lived with for how long? The guesses were, would you say 6 years?
6 years.
6 years.
I said 10,
and I said
24. One of you
Oh, God.
is 1 year off.
Oh!
Would any of you,
Yes.
and I would suggest all of you,
Yeah, change
your number
Yes.
one up or one down?
Yes.
Dan,
Dan,
7.
7.
I say 23.
9.
They have been living together for 5 years.
Oh, you went the wrong way, Dan.
Still a winner.
Still, by the way,
Why
a
do
long
I
time.
always go up?
Oh, you won. You won.
And
Still a
then
long time.
fittingly, I
Such
mentioned
an up person.
Fittingly, I mentioned that we're going to be doing a Greenlee at the next live show because there's a little bit of Greenlee-esque writing
Okay,
in this.
let's hear it.
This is the next paragraph. Le Freak, written by Niles Rogers and Bernard Edwards, both of whom were members of Chic, topped the Billboard Hot 100 chart. In 2018, the National Recording Registry of Library of Congress included the single among its, quote, oral treasures worthy of preservation.
Wow.
Described as an infectious, danceable confection,
Yep.
Le Freak has become a, quote, staple of wedding receptions, movie soundtracks, and nightclubs, according to the Library of Congress. We will get out of here on this, and I'm going to even show you the picture first.
By the way, sometimes the picture is misleading.
How old, you'll be able to see it on your screen, how old is Mary Ann Lannon?
Mary Ann Lannon.
Mary
looks good.
Ann Lannon.
Does she look good?
She looks like she woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
She looks like she's
She
The
I'm
wrong
gonna
side, the wrong
say-
side of the dismantled makeshift tiki bar.
She looks like she's been soaking in rum and coconut
I know,
juice
she's-
for a little bit. I'm going to go, she's got to be younger than she looks. I'm going to think she's 28.
What?
28.
28
Okay,
years
Jay,
old.
what do you think?
28
Jason?
hard years.
Yeah, that's
30, 39.
39.
And holding.
Okay.
34.
34.
Mary Ann Lannon.
All right. We'll get out of here on this.
Is she on Bumble?
More of a hinge girl.
She's on meth.
I got vaccinated. I'm ready.
Jay said she's on meth. Hang on.
She looks, if she's on meth, she looks pretty
She looks
good.
great. She's holding it together when she's on meth.
Allegedly. Okay. We'll get out of here on this. Such a fun day in the town.
Yeah.
We'll close it up after I tell all of you that Mary Ann Lannon
Mary Ann Lannon.
is 53 years old.
Oh, she looks great.
She looks
Holy,
great.
get me some tiki drinks, man. That
my
stuff's got a
goodness.
She's
fountain of youth.
53.
So I'm
She
right.
is Le Freak.
She is La Freak. I'm freaking out.
Oh,
She
my
is
God.
53.
Oh my God.
She's 53.
God, she
That's-
looks good, man. She
looks
young.
great.
She look for 53. She looks fantastic.
I want to be forever
She
young.
did it. It's makeshift tiki bar.
Wow.
Keep you young.
This is it. The fantastic. I love it. Well, this is awesome. Thank you guys, and thank you, Dan Dunn. This is just fantastic. Good times, everybody. And oh shit, we got to get back to work.
Dum 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 dum. Stick around, make a sound, calm you down. It's Dumb People Town.
Scarpins Avenue.
A podcast network.